It's basically a story time on my oral exam. When I told you that the thing they asked me, I don't even know how to pronounce it. They tell you go, and the go is in a good way, you will run. I was scared. I was like, okay, Stella, can you like ask me another question? And he looked at me and was like, you want me to ask you another question? I said, okay, no problem. Biochem. This was the one I cried, y'all. I cried. I slept. I dreamt about the whole thing. I woke up. I just started to cry again. Let's just start this video with, if you ever feel like taking a calabash, putting whatever inside, going around the tree with your lecturer's picture, I'm your safe space because I will not judge you. Because the things they do to us, we know, right? We know. But with that being said, I mean, it depends, though. It genuinely depends. But with that being said, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. It's Gigi and I'm back with another video. I'm so excited to sit down. I feel like I love sitting down videos. It's easy to edit, easy to find. Like, everything is just fast. But with vlogging, you get to so obsessed with vlogging, and it's like, I really want to be trying. But also, thank you guys for 5,000 views. Like, I literally woke up this morning and it was 5k views. Like, my friend sent me a screenshot and she was like, easy. I was like, it's not easy. you guys really like vlogs, so I'm going to do more vlogs. But today's video is basically a story time on my oral exam. So before I give you any detail, it's basically a story time about my oral exam and a story time of my most recent oral exam. It was a surprise. You know how lecturers do surprise tests? This one is surprise oral, 300 level. We're going to miss you. Let's just be wicked. But before we get into that, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. If you've been here before, I love you genuinely. Leave a like, comment, share. Comment. I feel like I'm more interested in comment than anything. Like, I literally want to be just to be you all. I feel like I reply everybody's comments. Yeah, the necessary ones. But like, and enjoy my story times, cause Gigi is the best storyteller. Period. So let's just hop right into this video. The first story time is on my 200 level oral exam. I mean 300 level. Literally already almost done. Just my NB exam remaining. Just my NB exam remaining rather. But for my 200 level promotional exam, the promotional exam, like for those of you that don't know, is like divided into 4 sessions. So there's OBJ, there's theory, there's practical, and there's orals. So every other one, just fair. There's really nothing they can tweak. Like, but oral exam has to do with you and the lecturer, like face to face. ID number, this step into the hall. Lecturers are sitting down and they ask you like a question, like. So like I said, like my 200 level is divided into modules. So they're like 4 modules, module 1, 2, 3, 4. Each module you're learning different stuff. I think 1 was introduction, 2 was like skeletal stuff, 3 was thorax, and 4 was abdomen. So basically they're going to like ask you on any aspect of your 200 level. They're permitted to. So let's start with the first oral exam I had was physiology. Right. It took such a long time. Why I don't like the exam, it takes such a long time, and I don't feel like it's fair, in my opinion. Lecturers are going to say it's fair, but like they're not necessarily going to ask you the same question that they're asking somebody else. So that question that would have been your easy question, they give it to somebody else, and then they're not giving you a hard question. So you see like how it's not testing everybody equally, and that's my problem with the exam. But aside that, my first oral exam was my physiology exam, right? After waiting for hours and hours, sleeping, waking up, going back to hostel, coming back, resting, like reading, panicking, throwing up. Oh my god, what they ask you? Because it's by ID number, depending on where they start from the bottom or the top. So it now finally got to my turn. I think around 4 o'clock. This thing started by 9, mind you, right? Because we're a lot. And it got to my turn and I entered nerve-wracking, like can't breathe. And I went there and I sat down looking so confident, looking so cool. But he had other plans. I sat down there. There were 3 lecturers, right? And then they were looking at each other. So basically, for an oral exam, right, you're written theory, you're written OBJ, you're written practical. So they have kind of like combined it so they know your score. So the oral exam is really like, if you're B, it can get you to A. If you're C, it can get you to B. If you're below 50, which will make you repeat or fail or whatever, it can help you pass 50. Like say you're 46 with all those three parts. So if you do well in your orals, like it will push you forward. So that's basically like the oral exam. So everybody that maybe you know you didn't do so well in like the other ones, like this is your place. So you're already panicking, and I got there. They looked at my my results. I was good at, like, I enjoy physiology. I wasn't like so bad. So I wasn't so scared. But no matter how much you do so good, like you're always scared of that particular oral exam. So I got there, I sat down looking all confident. Meanwhile, I was shaking, like my own intestines were jubilating inside. They were dancing like crazy, and I sat down smiling, greeted them, and they left me in the most serious lecturer's hand. Just said, "Okay, sir, you can ask that." They asked the other ones that I would have liked. They asked me, "Oh, would you want to ask her a question?" I said, "No, no, no, Professor, this you can ask her." Now ask me something. When I told you that the thing they asked me, I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's crazy. This is real life story. I couldn't pronounce it. When they'll ask you, okay, what is a noun? You now start with a noun is. So they asked me this thing, like till today. I'm like, God, like please remind me of what they asked me. I couldn't even say a this is, like, because I didn't know how to pronounce what they asked me. That's how crazy it was. And I'm just there like, because they taught us ways to answer lecturers. You can't really go there and say, oh, you don't know. You can't say you were not taught, because obviously you're supposed to have been taught. So I was like, oh, like I really don't recall, like right now. They asked me something else. This was the second question, right? This one I could pronounce, but I didn't know it was. When I hear, I could swear that it was never in our notes. And like the urge to say, oh my God, sir, like this is not in our notes, or like you haven't taught us this, but how dare you? Especially when the lecturer that was of course supposed to teach it was also in that oral exam hall. So I just shut up and was like, oh, I tried to guess. They were also like helping me that, okay, no, put it this way, put it this way. So they were helping me. So even if I in my head was like, shit, oh my God, like what's going on? I don't know this, I don't know this, I don't know this. Like what's actually going on? I was not panicking, because they were like, okay, do it this way. Okay, this will lead to what? And then like they're trying to like, get you there. And then they asked me like a few other questions. Those when we were bossing, like, but the thing with the questions that were bossing, when you're reading for exam, there's one you swear, say, God, I beg, if you love me, please, they should not bring it out. Because like I don't want to read it, I don't have strength. Like the idea of reading it is just not doing it for you. I was like, I bet this one, they have not asked anybody now. I went there and it was me they asked. That moment where you're like, I was just there like, God, you did this one. So the one I said that I will not read is when they asked me. But it's not like I didn't want to revise it again, but I knew, so I explained it well, and they asked me something else. And maybe why I didn't cry for that one was it ended on a good note on me answering the questions they asked. I kind of like forgot about the other ones. And the thing with me is that like if I know that I do my hardest, I read everything they send, read all the materials, and I go to the exam hall and I see a question that they haven't taught me, I won't feel so bad, because I know that like within my own capability I did what I was supposed to do. You bring in all these ones, maybe your village people after you. But like, why are you doing that to me? So it doesn't really make me feel bad. I won't sit there crying. So the bare fact that I couldn't even pronounce what they asked me, like when people ask what they ask me, I'm like, I can't pronounce it too, but I think it sounds like this. I even had to come out and like speak into Google whatever microphone, just to like see maybe Google will like catch it, because me, I couldn't even get it at all. So till today I still don't know what they asked me, but that was physiology. I think it ended on a good note, and I ended up getting an A in physiology. So I was really happy. I feel like I expected an A. So it was really good. Just that the oral, like it just nerved. The next day, because oral is day by day by day. So we're done physiology. Next day was biochem. Biochem. This was the one I cried, y'all. Like I cried. I even wept. Like I started even crying because I cried in front of everybody. There was no hiding. Like there's some tears where you can't even hold. It's like you're holding it and you're fighting. You're strong, oh, because like everything in you is pushing up. You're pushing down. It's not even going to work at all. So I just let it flow. Biochem, right? I entered. There were two lecturers, like just so it would be faster. There was a lecturer in this hall, a lecturer in that hall. So they were like splitting you. If the person goes this way, then you the next person you're going that way, and next person after is going to the other side. So it got to my turn, and I wanted on that lecturer because he would just ask, "Okay, what do you not know? What do you know?" And then the one you say you don't know is the one he will ask. So I wanted that one, but apparently people were wasting time. And the lecturer I didn't want, she came out and she was like, who is the next person? Then I said, ah, goodness. Me, I just jejely followed how I said, God, because of following this woman, everything was still. I got into the place. I sat down. She was with another lecturer because they were two. And then I remember this question they asked me because, bruh, he said, what is the biochemical basis of diabetes mellitus or diabetes mellitus, whatever? If I sat down and I thought about it, I could come up with it, but we haven't been taught. So the lecturer now, the lady, she just spoke Yoruba to him and she was like, no, they have not taught us this one yet. Like, when, they first asked me, oh, where are you from? Like, like, easy me to it. So I was like, everything is still, like, I was actually so, like, ready to the oral exam until this man spoke. And I'm like, in my head, you won't even know on my face that the things that are going on inside me, Jesus, there's a fight. Because I was like, what do you mean, sir? Say, after asking me how I am, after asking where am I from, no, my name sounds like, after tickling my fancy, this is what you're doing to me. So after saying that, oh, no, they didn't teach us, he now asked me another question. So basically, the module 3 of our biochemistry was the most bulky module. In that module, we learned a lot of pathways: glycolysis, glycogenolysis, urea, like fatty acid. The fatty acid was just the worst. So we learned a lot of pathways. Like that module was the whole catabolism, like pathways, this to this enzyme. So it was really stressful. I don't think anybody wanted to be asked a question on module 3. So upon all the pathways that I knew, they asked me ketogenesis pathway. Now you people will be like, ketogenesis pathway is short, but the pathway in our notes was just a one slide. It was basically like the end of the note. Nobody elaborated on it. Nobody really, because all the ones we were doing were major carbohydrate. Nobody was talking about its relation to starvation until we did like module 4. We're talking about starvation. That's where ketogenesis whole thing like came a little, but nobody elaborated on it like this is the pathway. Like no, the pathway. God, when they asked me the pathway, and you know the thing, when I was reading it in my notes, right, during module 3 exam, I wrote it down. I was like, that's how they will not teach us like so well. Me, I researched it, I wrote it down. But it didn't occur to me that, oh, like, okay, goodness, like reverse ketogenesis. Because, bro, when I say the pathways you have, they're over like 10. So who really has the strength to go to the one nobody elaborated on? It's really for an oral exam of how many minutes? Like, so that was my whole thought process. In fact, it didn't even have to be my thought process because I wasn't even thinking about ketogenesis at all. So when they asked me and its relation to starvation, I could only talk about the relation to starvation. And then I just told them that, like, okay, sir, I know that these are the end products, these are the this, and the pathway is so short. When I came out, I was like, God, I could have known this thing, but it never really occurred to you. And I kept telling myself, like, don't beat yourself about this, girl. And I answered so confidently, answered. They didn't make me feel like shit. You don't even know what you're saying at all. Like I just said like the bits like I knew, and they're like, okay. This like they were also trying to help me. I wasn't feeling bad. I felt like like at the end of the day, like like you're done well, like I'd come out. And then my classmate, she just asked me, goodness, what did they ask you? It's as if, hey, it's as if somebody just bust my ball. Like, literally just pop. I literally exploded. I started to cry. Cause, hey, God, it was so embarrassing. Like, I couldn't even say anything. I just started to cry. And I turned the other way. Because if you go the other way, you see other people that ask you what they ask you. I just went to the stairs and I sat down. I was just crying. And then the practical lecturer, he came to me. He's one of my favorite people. It's Mr. Ameo, for in case people are wondering, but yeah. Then he came to me and was like, goodness, did you feel that you're crying? Like, do you feel? Have you not done well? Have you not passed? Do you even need this oral? And he was just speaking to me, and I'm like, I'm just so sad about it because, like, Kai, you now see people saying, oh my God, I went to the lecturer, asked me what I want to know, what I wanted to ask me. People were giving their jubilating story, and I was just there in wonders, crying. Because it's not even like my pain was, they would have asked me fatty acid, which nobody wanted at all, and I would have been able to say something on it, rather than asking me something I didn't revise. And I don't know if I'd rather not say anything than say rubbish. So, like, I was really sad about it, but after that whole day, like, I just concluded that my luck on orals was just really bad, because just tell me why, like, all this stuff just keep happening to me. So I'm just like, this oral thing, like, people will be reading for orals like there's no tomorrow, and I'm like, I'm not going to read again. I'm not going to stress myself. I'm just going to ask, like, people that are coming up, like, what did they ask you? Like, because it would just be better that way. Right. It got to my anatomy. I even gave a testimony about my anatomy in church because so I was the assistant course rep as at that time. So when I got into the anatomy, the HOD, he knew me now. So he said, "Oh hi, how are you doing?" Yeah, so like yeah, he just asked me how am I doing. That oh Aya, that I know you, and then he was like, "Oh, like where are you from?" I said Bayelsa, I'm a Soma, precisely because that's my village. And he was like, that village has a university. And we were just like, chatting. So the teacher beside me was like, "Prof, let me ask her a question." And I was like, "No, don't worry, I've already asked her where she's from. You can go." Do you go? When I say I didn't just go outside the door, I went outside the building. Not outside. I went outside the building I ran to my hostel. So nobody would say, "Hey, come back, oh, come, let me," because when they tell you go, and the go is in a good way, you will run. Because if they mistakenly call you back, it's over. I ran. I just said, they asked me, because people asked me what I just said, they asked me where am I from, and I just ran out and I was calling my mommy. And I called my mommy and I was just so happy. I was like, "Mommy, can you believe, like," because anatomy oral was the last exam we had done practical, like that was the last like promotional was ending that day. So like what was the best way to end it? Like God had just had to put a smile on my face. I literally jumped, ran all the way to hostel. Who did I not call that day? I was like, "I'm on me, I'm coming home, I did so good." Like I was so happy, like I was so happy, like it just made me smile. That was my oral exam story. Yeah. But then to this second story time, this was also about my oral exam. I just finished my module 8, guys. So module 8 is the last module of 300 level. I also just finished my module 8 exam like yesterday, because today is Saturday. I finished it on Friday, yesterday rather. And I can't be more grateful. Like I literally am done. MB is in a couple weeks, and then after MB, I'm done with 300 level. Like say bye bye, girls and 400. Don't need to see any result because I'm done. Period. Not coming back. But yeah, tell me why. Normally, each modular exam just has OBJ practical theory. Practical depends on the amount of practicals you do, because sometimes they can make it alternative. But anatomy practical is never alternative, because you go to the dissection lab, the steeplechase exam. That's what anatomy practical is, right? But our lecturer came, he said, "No, no good for anybody." He said, "Guys, when you're done with this theory hall, you go by your ID one by one to the oral exam center." I say, "What?" I clean my ear. To the oral exam center, brothers and sisters. Orals. What a shock. Shocked me, shooked. I was actually like, what the hell? Orals? From where? What are you oraling? But at that point, I was feeling like, at the end of the day, like, I know that practical stresses me out, just the steeplechase, the dissection, the smell, and all this stuff. Like, I'd rather do oral. It's not just one question. I had a good, like, rapport with oral people and anatomy last time. So I was, hoping for the same thing, you guys. This time, I entered the hall after waiting and waiting and waiting. I was so tired. I entered the hall, and then I didn't meet the lecturers I met last time, because like it's by ID. So anyone you just go and enter. And I met these two lecturers, and one looked at me and was like, "Let me ask her a question." At that point, like I know that like I had studied, like you studied for the exam. We didn't even know that there was oral, so you didn't even have time to panic and everything. You tell us the day before. They told us when we were writing our theory. So like I was really like, okay, no problem. At the end of the day, did I not study for the theory? Like, so what was in oral? They now asked me something relating to like spinal, whatever. Kai God, I wanted to cry. In that moment, I was like, "You do this one." I stood there, I didn't know what to say. No, I knew what to say. Basically, I don't have strength to go into details of the question, but something will lead to something that will lead to something in the whole question stuff. So I knew what to lead to it. I just don't know what the effect is. Because when you transect the spinal cord, something is terminated on the ipsilateral, terminated on the contralateral. So I knew that this and this were terminated. I just don't know which one was ipsilateral, contralateral. I don't want to confuse you all. So that's why I told the lecturer that, oh, like, okay, I know this thing, but I just don't recall which one is in this place. And I feel like if I'd had the time to think, they would have, like, it would have, I don't know, it would have made sense. Like I would have been able to come up with it. So after like guessing and like saying the right thing, my problem with this thing is that I wasn't confident. I feel like that's why they took me for a fool. Because I came out to find out that I said the right thing, but these people were laughing at me inside. I just feel like I should like drown, like enter the ground, because I was like, why are these people laughing? Like that's not a nice thing to do. Like, why are you laughing at somebody? Like, you shouldn't, like, if they do that to your kids, like, you're not going to like it. So, like, why are you laughing? Like, if somebody doesn't know it, if you want to be, you can say they can go. Why are you making somebody feel like they were stupid? They pissed me off so much. And I did not ask me something else. This other thing, like, I was so sure I knew it. I said it well. They not asked me the meaning of something, and I didn't know this stuff. And they just like laugh. When I said they were laughing, like, okay, when I tried to guess it, they would just laugh like, Jesus, this is not even this. This is this. I was just so done. I was now scared. I was like, okay, Sarah, can you like ask me another question? I feel like I'm not looking at the camera because I'm using my back camera, so I can't really see my face. But I was like, okay, like, sir, can you ask me another question? And he looked at me and was like, you want me to ask you another question? I said, okay, no problem. The way this man asked me that question is like you will go and dig up things that even a lecturer cannot answer. So I just surrendered. I said, okay, sir, no problem. I went out. They now asked me. This one, I was going to cry. But when I went out, if I had cried, I would have been the only person that cried from the module 8 orals, because everybody was just going, oh my god, they asked me this, that, because you were just asking, like, it looks at some point they were tired, you not actually how many lobes are in the brain, what are the functions of the lobe. So when I was like 70, I didn't know about 70 something, so I was like, okay, at the end of the day, like, like, maybe me, so I'll just go there, have you and come and say, oh, they had time for me. So when I came out, what they asked me, I just said they asked me, they were like, Che, I was holding tears, guys. I literally felt like I was going to cry, but I was like, God, like, do not make me cry, like, in front of people, because what is this, like, why would they do this to me? I don't know if anybody had a bad oral experience for the movie 8, but I did. Like, it was crazy. It was not even funny at all. And I sat down on that chair, and like, they took our time. Basically, like, I think I answered my question like around 4, almost to 5, because they wasted time. So my next bus was now by 6:15, and I couldn't wait. So I was texting my husband, and I said that, oh, like, please, like, I need to leave. And I didn't have money, so I didn't have bowl money. And I was like, oh, let me just pay for your bowl, go to your hostel. Immediately I entered this room, I just locked the door. And I wept. I cried. I cried. Like, when they cry, there's no audio. There was no audio in this cry. I was just crying. Even on the phone, nobody knew I was crying. I wept internally, cried. I feel like at that point I could swear for these teachers. I was so angry that I was going to call my mom and carry her, go to the HOD's office and speak to him, because I don't know if he mistakes me with somebody else, because he's always saying, you're not coming to my class, and sometimes, like, it's not a nice thing when a lecturer attacks you as that, especially when I come for his classes. Like, I feel like I could even tell him something that happened in class, that if you didn't come for that class, you won't know. So I'm like, are you mistaking me with somebody else? The other day he called me precious, and I'm like, no. Even during my oral exam, like, he left where he was, and he came to me and was like, oh, this girl doesn't come from my class, in front of people that were already like shattering my heart to the questions they were asking me. So, like, it was just not fair to me. And I was like, should I just go? Like, should I like make it maybe a parents thing if my mom talks to him, or like something? Or should I, like, what was I even going to tell this man? How is he going to explain that, oh, I actually come for your classes? Like, why is he labeling me as this person? But at the same time, I'm done with 300 level. The only time I'll see them again is MB exam, which an external examiner is going to ask you the oral question. So I'm like, should I just leave this thing? Like, is this the devil? Like, what's actually happened to me? So I actually cried that day. Like, I had such a headache. I cried. I slept. I dreamt about the whole thing. I woke up, and when you wake up and like all your thoughts come back together. When you wake up, I just started to cry again. I didn't even speak for a long time. I was going through a lot. The oral exam, like, at the end of the day, people have bad luck. So I just took it as bad luck. It was just more like him saying I didn't come for his classes and all this stuff. And it was like, why are you accusing me in this moment where my whole life is shattering and I just can't even answer this question? I'm already so sad. And I just kept telling myself that, goodness, you've already passed the exam. You didn't need that oral. Like, you're going to do so good. Like, you're going to get an A. Like, don't kill yourself. I kept on, like, motivating myself so bad. Even thinking about it, I feel like I'm really going to cry, because it makes me so sad. I couldn't even explain, like, the whole story to people. I should just, like, sought advices from my friends and everything, and they're like, let me just leave it. Like, there's no point of going to like the office to like go and saw whatever, because it just makes you like known to them. And I feel like in my next life, what I'm going to do is that I'm never going to have any personal relationship with any teacher. It's not like I have a personal relationship, but when I try to say I'm going to be the most invisible person ever, and like I keep on telling myself that she we're done with anatomy, physiology, all this stuff, like 400 level, we are moving to higher levels. My lecturers will even be my lecturers, so don't even feel bad about it. Like you're good, like don't stress, like don't mind all these people. That's why I kept on telling myself. So yeah, I'm good. I know I'm going to pass my exam in Jesus' name. You guys, I've really spoken for such a long time. Oh my god. But yeah, this was my oral experience, like on my oral exam experience, both from like 200 level and 300 level, quote unquote, surprise exam oral. But it was not the most pleasant experience. Please, this should not really scare anybody. Like a lot of people that will tell you that they said God, they will ask me this and they ask them that. So like, don't be scared. I also wanted to give advice to 200 levels that are going to be doing their promotional exams and oral. Like, I don't know, like really don't stress yourself. Read, don't kill yourself. Sometimes you might just have bad luck. Sometimes somebody just has it out for you. Sometimes the lecturers might even be in a bad mood and they'll just like, just vent on you, like put it all on you. But you're going to pass, like is you're going to do so. In fact, you're already at 300 level, so don't kill yourself because I'm 400. Yeah. And I think one thing I'm going to say about this oral exam, based on my experience, is that you're most likely going to be asked the question of the question the person before you was asked, especially when they didn't get it. Basically, they ask somebody what to say now. That's the person before you. They go in and they couldn't answer it. They're going to most likely ask you the question to see if you answer it. So as classmates, like help yourself. If you go in and like say, oh, they asked me this, like help the person answer you because you're most likely going to be asked the question. I know some people will not want to help, but I mean like that's yeah, that's your cup of tea. But yeah, this is the end of this story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it because I enjoyed talking and sharing my experiences. Yeah, yeah. So see you in my next video. I don't even know what the next video is going to be. I'm going to try to go back on my weekly upload, but I don't even know if that's going to be possible because MD is coming. Pray for me, yo. I must pass all my exams here and A. Like that's I've said it, and that's how it's going to happen. So yeah, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I hope you guys liked and enjoyed this video. Comment down if you guys are seniors and you've had like oral experiences. Comment down tips like you also feel like it's going to help other people for their oral exam. And yeah, I love y'all. See you in my next YouTube video.